Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your girl Adriana DC. So today's video, I'm gonna be giving you my top 10 and some rose fragrances in my collection. For some strange reason, as of lately, I have been in love with rose fragrances. I have been in love with rose fragrances and I have discovered some of the most beautiful rose scents. And I have also discovered my obsession and appreciation for roses in fragrances, you guys. So I'm gonna give you all the rose fragrances, all the dominantly rose fragrances in my collection that I consider to be some of the best rose scents on the market. Now, these fragrances that I have, these are the rose fragrances that I know of. Perhaps there are better roses, are there more rose fragrances, but for me, these are some of the most absolutely beautiful rose fragrances that I have ever come across, that has got me like really in love with that note of rose. I do know that rose is one of those notes that for some people it's a yes and some people it's a no, but I feel like this list has something for everybody. But again, these fragrances are dominantly rose. The rose is playing a very big role, the biggest role in these scents. So if you guys are interested in hearing about, some of the best rose fragrances in my collection and out there, then by all means, keep on watching. If you guys are new here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit that notification bell so that way you will be notified every single time I upload. And for those of you who are my returning subscribers, thank you guys for supporting me. I truly appreciate your support. So I'm gonna give you these fragrances in an order. Okay, I'm gonna start off with my dewy wet roses and build up the concentration and the strength, going from dewy to musky to a little bit jammy, spicy, woody rose. And that's gonna be the order you'll see. So the first absolutely beautiful rose scent in my collection is Noir by Christian Dior. And like I said to you guys, this is a dewy, watery, fruity rose scent. It has in some blackcurrant, lemon, peaches, peonies. It has quite a lot of fruity notes in here. It has an oud, but the oud is a little to non-existent. What you do get is a dewy, citrusy, watery, fruity rose scent. You do get a dash of all those fruity notes in this fragrance, but this is an elegant, fresh, fruity, clean rose scent. Quite watery, very pretty. It smells expensive. It is quite a simplistic rose, but it's in elegance. It's like, for me, it gives off a feeling of being very well kept and a little bit dainty and, very classy. That's the vibe that I get from this perfume. A very refreshing fragrance, beautiful scent, especially for spring, but it's gonna shine in the summer. But this is a perfume that just says spring all the way. Of course, you can wear it all year round because it is a sheer fragrance, a very transparent fragrance. Like I said, quite dewy, but it does linger on the skin, and it's more like a clean, skin scent to an extent. It does have some projection to it, but it is very moderate. But this is just a beautiful scent, you guys. If you like minimalistic, simplistic fragrances, then this perfume would be an absolute joy to your collection. So this is Lacal Noir by Christian Dior. So the next dewy rose scent in my collection is Delina La Rose, you guys. And like I said to you, this indeed is a very fresh, clean, citrusy, musky, dewy rose scent. Again, one thing is for certain about rose fragrances: class and elegance fall behind of the essence of rose, and it goes along with the scent profile. So the notes in La Rose is, of course, lychee, pear, and bergamot. And in the heart, you have your rose, your peony, watery notes, floral notes, and base notes of white musk, woody notes, Haitian vetiver. This perfume just smells like the morning dew. Yeah. A freshly cut cold rose with like morning dew settling on it. Yeah, it literally smells cold. It is lightly sweetened, very lightly sweetened, fresh, musky rose. You definitely get the dewiness in here, so you get the floral essence in here. This the perfume. It's like it's a like softer, dewy, watery version of Zelina, literally. And for some people, they may not be happy with that. For me, I like this perfume more than Delina. I just like how fresh and clean and resolved and, you know, dewy it smells. But it smells cold. It smells cold and musky. And of course, you get the watery vibes in this perfume. I love this fragrance for what it is. It is a simple perfume, but again, it smells very classy, very elegant. So if you want like a classy, elegant, fresh rose fragrance, if you are a subdued, reserved person who doesn't like a fragrance that's in your face or whatever the case is, I think you definitely love this perfume. This is an everyday scent, an absolutely beautiful everyday fragrance that can be worn all year round. But in the spring and summer, this perfume absolutely shines, you guys. This is a very beautiful, simplistic, dewy, watery rose scent, cold and musky as well. So this is Delina La Rose. Next up, we have La Rose by MFK. And if you love a very realistic take on roses or a realistic scent profile of a freshly cut young green rose, then you would love this perfume if you don't already love it. Again, it is a controversial scent, but this is an absolutely beautiful smelling fragrance, you guys. This is a pretty girl rose scent, and that is the best way to describe this perfume. It's a pretty girl rose scent. It smells very pretty, elegant, and clean. I mean, it is quite a it is very like simplistic. So to sum it up, it's a freshly cut. It smells like a true freshly cut young green rose. It is sweet, so you do get a bit of sweetness to it. It smells shampooy. It smells cold. It smells clean. The green essence is there, but it's like very, very fresh. Okay, so it's not a green essence that's gonna throw you off. It's gonna be in your face or amplify as the fragrance settle. It smells like fresh and cold and dewy as well. Beautiful rose fragrance, very sophisticated and classy scent, but again, very minimalistic, very simplistic. And I think that, I mean, sometimes you can enjoy, I see the beauty in simple fragrances. I thoroughly enjoy them. I realize that as of lately, and I'm enjoying it in all its simplicity. I think it's an absolutely beautiful fragrance by MFK. So this is La Rose. So the next beautiful rose fragrance in my collection is Roses Greedy by Mancera. So now we're amping things up. We're getting complex, as complex can be when it comes to roses. Now this perfume, it has in top notes of peach, blackcurrant, mandarin orange, coconut, pink pepper, middle notes of rose, flowers, and jasmine, base notes of white musk, sugar, vanilla, amber, and benzoin. Now what do you get from this perfume? The overall body of this perfume is supported by a rosy floral water essence. So this perfume smells like floral water, but it smells like a very prominent rose water essence. That's what you get. Now the fruity notes in here, so there is a dash of, it's there, but it's definitely not starring. The peach and the coconuts in the mandarin, these notes are there, but they're definitely not, to me, they're not outshining the rose, because again, the notes in this fragrance is supported by rose water, floral rose water, and that's the vibe that I get in this perfume. You do get the musk. You definitely get the musk in here, so, and the floral notes. There is a somewhat of a it smells somewhat like a bouquet of roses. You know, like when you go to the store and you buy the roses and you smell them. This is what this smells like. It smells like a bouquet of roses, but it smells musky. Again, there are the fruity notes in here, so but I want to say maybe when you wear it and as the fragrance begins to like settle down a little bit, it goes through the layers. But the peach and the black currant and the mandarin in this perfume is very, very subtle, very subdued. And even though it hasn't coconut, this is a very transparent fragrance. It has a tropical feel to it, but it's not, this is nowhere close your traditional coconutty smelling perfume at all. But the other notes do definitely shine through this scent, especially the roses and the florals. And this is a powerhouse fragrance, you guys. This is a strong scent that projects and lingers on you. It's not like a very like screechy fragrance that's loud in your face, but it lingers on the skin. And the sweet, warm, florally notes in here, so mixed with the rose and the sweetness from those fruity notes, it just shines as the fragrance settles on the skin. It's an absolutely beautiful fragrance. In my opinion, Roses Greedy is one of the best scents by Mancera, you guys. So for me, this is one of the absolute most beautiful rose dominant fragrances in my collection. So this is Roses Greedy by Mancera. The next dominantly rosy fragrance in my collection is Roses and Roses by Miss Dior. And I'm telling y'all, even if you don't like roses, you're gonna love this perfume. Everybody, I don't know how, I don't think it's possible for anybody to dislike this fragrance. So the notes in Roses is geranium, top notes of geranium and bergamot, Italian mandarin, middle notes of grass rose, damask rose, and base notes of white musk. This is a sweet, musky, realistic rose scent. But this is a rose scent that smells like, okay, it smells like they picked the utmost well-kept, healthy, blossoming roses and they put them all in this fragrance. Like the most exquisite, well-kept, beautiful, rich, luxurious roses and put them in this fragrance. Add a dash of sweetness and some muskiness. It is transparent, it is pretty, it is elegant, it is classy, it is sexy. It is like, this is a very like a luxurious, classy rose scent. As in, this is, you know, some of these fragrances that I mentioned, they're laid back and simplistic. This is not a simple perfume. This is a very confident, a little bit bold, womanly woman that smells really good, but very feminine, ladylike at that, but bold with it. You know, that kind of way. This is an absolutely beautiful fragrance, you guys. And if you read up about this scent, basically they basically express that they've captured the most well-kept roses. They've like taken the utmost care in, you know, collecting, you know, the juices from it and putting them in here. So, and that's pretty much how this scent smells. It's like they captured the scent that they were aiming to capture so well, you guys. I'm telling you, this smells like a bouquet of the most luxurious, well-kept, rich, lush roses, you guys. Beautiful fragrance from Christian Dior. Even if you do not like roses, I don't know how you can dislike this, because this is so beautiful, you guys. So this is Dior, Miss Dior Roses and Roses. Next, keeping it in the musky category, we have Roses Musk by Montal. Now, like the name implies, this is a sugary sweet musky rose scent. A sugary sweet cold musky rose scent, and that's pretty much what it smells like. Yeah, this is another pretty fragrance. It smells like juicy. It smells like a juicy rose scent. That's what this perfume smells like. The musk in here so just gives the fragrance a bit of kick, a bit of excitement to it, but it smells like juicy sweet roses, very juicy, lush, you know, blossoming roses, you guys. And for me, this is another absolutely beautiful rose scent, Once again, if you don't love roses, I still think that you can have an appreciation for this perfume because it smells so good. It's such an easy to like fragrance, you guys. So Roses Musk by Montal is again one of the most beautiful rose scents in my collection. Next up, we have Rose Elixir by Montal. And this one has a little bit more going on. So this one has in some strawberries, some rose, some citrusy notes, slight green notes in here. So patchouli as well. So this one is a sweet, fruity, has in a very prominent presence of strawberries mixing with that green essence, but it's a nice combination of strawberry, rose, and slightly green touches in here. You do get the essence of the patchouli, but overall what's shining is the strawberries, the rose, and that slight green essence. Again, there are some citrusy notes in here. So this is like it's a fruity fragrance, but it's more strawberries and roses. Sweet strawberries and roses. It literally smells cold. It smells cold and it's quite sweet. There's also some vanilla, some almond, some tangerine in here. So this fragrance, it's not a simple rose fragrance. It's a little bit complex and it smells that way. It pretty much smells that way. This is a beautiful rose fragrance, you guys, for what it's worth. Now for me, right, this fragrance is well received, but I think that the bottle would probably throw you off more than anything else. The scent in here is absolutely beautiful. It's a beautiful fragrance, no doubt, you guys. And I feel like if it wasn't in the bottle, I think it would get a lot more love, in my opinion. But it is a beautiful fragrance. Okay, so now we're gonna be going into the spicy section. The first rose fragrance in my collection that's quite spicy is none other than Rose Prick by Tom Ford. This is a spicy, clean, sweet, a little bit earthy rose scent. A really nice, sweet rose with the essence of Szechuan pepper. There's some turmeric in here. So there is some patchouli. For me, I get something slightly green and a little bit earthy to an extent, but very, very mild. For me, it gives this scent a bit of a kick to it and kind of gives off a different feel. There is somewhat of a powdery cosmetic feel to this, like a cosmetic powder feel to this perfume, but it's interesting. I find this spicy rose fragrance to be interesting and sexy and clean and really, really pretty, you guys. I love this perfume. I just like the complexity of it, and I like that it's clean and spicy and earthy and a hint of green and really sweet. I think that's really, really beautiful. I would describe this fragrance as extravagant, and that's honestly how I feel about Rose Prick by Tom Ford. So keeping it spicy, we have Kylie's Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper, you guys. And this is another spicy, musky, patchouli rose scent, you guys. A very spicy, a little bit metallic-y rose scent. It has in notes of pink pepper, saffron, bergamot, as is Bulgarian rose, May rose, vanilla orchids, magnolia, and in the base we have some sandalwood, amber, musk, and patchouli. This perfume, it has a very prominent note of patchouli. So you get the spiciness mixing with the patchouli and the musk, and it has some of a metallic feel to it. This fragrance, it kind of gives off, people usually describe it as somewhat of an oody feel to it. Apparently it doesn't have an oud, but it does have this it has a vibe to it, this metallic, sweet, spicy vibe to it. Now I would consider to be, the spicy segment when it comes to the rose offerings that I have in my collection. But in comparison to Rose Prick, this fragrance is it's amped up a lot. It's like, this is like a punchy, it's a bit more heavier, stronger, spicy rose scent in comparison to Rose's Prick. Beautiful fragrance, nice. You do get the rose, but there's a whole lot more going on with this fragrance. Very complex. So if you don't like dewy, citrusy, musky, elegant, true, refreshing rose scents, and you want something really punchy, Kylie is a fragrance for you. It's quite different in my opinion. So like, yeah, even though it's like concentrated around the note of rose, there's a lot going on in it. So I would recommend that you do try this fragrance before you buy it. But it's an absolutely beautiful fragrance that lasts long as hell, you guys. So this is Kylie Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper. All right, so now we're going into the heavy hitter rose fragrances. And the next fragrance in my collection that's an absolutely beautiful heavy hitter rose fragrance is Roses Vanille by Mancera. Now this one has in notes of lemon and water notes, middle notes of rose and sugar, base notes of vanilla, sugar, white musk, and cedar. And this smells like a sugary, sweet, cold rose vanilla scent. A sugary, sweet, yeah, a sugary, sweet, rosy vanilla scent. You definitely get that. And that's the best description for this perfume. Beautiful fragrance. There are some florals in here as well. What's that? Feels, or should I say smells like there are other florals in this fragrance. A rose scent. Now, the vanilla in here is amped up a lot. So you got a lot of sugary, sweet vanilla-y essence mixing with the rose. So this one, again, like I said to you, is on the heavier side. It's not that much heavy, but it's an absolutely beautiful scent. What comes to mind, or should I say, if you have not tried this perfume, this fragrance smells quite similar to MFK's Gentle Fluidity. As a matter of fact, this one and Rose's Musk smells very similar to MFK's Gentle Fluidity, but this one is heavier, colder, stronger, and sweeter. And the vanilla in here is not as creamy as Gentle Fluidity. Is just heavier and more like outright sweet vanilla in my opinion. So Roses Vanille, this is another beautiful rose fragrance in my collection. Very likable. I would say it's quite crowd pleasing in my opinion. Very easy to love fragrance, you guys. So this is Roses Vanille by Mancera. So like amping it all the way up when it comes to rose fragrances, I have Badal Oud Latafa, which is the Amethyst version. So this one here, it has in top notes of pink pepper, bergamot, and middle notes of rose, Bulgarian rose, and jasmine. Base notes of oud, amber, and vanilla. And again, like I said to you, this one is we're amping it all the way up when it comes to roses. This is a jammy sweet rose. This is a jammy sweet rose scent with oud and wood. Very heavy. It comes across like it's giving me somewhat of Angel Nova vibes, but Angel Nova of course has in the raspberry and the lychee, but this has a sweet jammy rose scent mixing with of course the bergamot, which is shining through, the oud, and the woody touches in here. The rose is definitely shining, but again there is some leathery like touches in here. Leathery, heavy, woody base. The rose is definitely shining the most in here. So if you don't like heavy scents like leathery, woody fragrances, you might not go for this one. But I find it to be very pleasant. I think this is an easy to like fragrance in my opinion, even though it has in, you know, the oud and the leather vibe. The leather is not that prominent. The oud in here is still not that. This fragrance just has a compounded heavy baseline, but it's not like it's screechy, it's not overbearing or anything like that. Again, the rose, the jammy sweet rose, is still the main player in this fragrance, and I think it's an absolutely beautiful scent by Latafa. So this is Badal Oud Amethyst. And last but by no means least, this one is very playful and very fruity and very pretty. This is Dentel des Roses from the La Nuit Trésor line. Now this one has in top notes of raspberries and mandarin orange. In the middle we have rose, base notes of velvet and suede. This is a juicy, sweet, fruity rose scent. Juicy, sweet, fruity rose scent. It smells warm. It's really sweet, really fruity. So this pretty much gives you this one without this gives you a little bit of this without the wood and the oud and that heavy baseline. This is just beautiful. This is just fruity raspberries mixing with the rose. lots of raspberries mixing with the rose, which is why it kind of gives me similar vibes to this one. Like I said to you, this one gives me similar vibes to Angel Nova. This one definitely gives you that fruity boss of sweetness mixing with the rosy touches in here. Beautiful, playful fragrance, very fun, exciting scent to pull for. So if you don't want to just get a fragrance that focuses on rose, these last fragrances, especially this one, would be the direction to go in, and I think you would thoroughly enjoy it. And again, if you are not a big lover of rose, because of everything that's going on in this fragrance, it's an absolute joy to wear that I don't think anybody could possibly dislike this pretty fragrance. So there you have it, you guys. These are my top 10 and some rose fragrances in my collection. I think these are some of the most beautiful rose perfumes. Like I said to you, I am rose crazy right now, and for me, these rose fragrances, they are multifaceted. They have a lot of variations to them, and they are equally beautiful in their own way, you guys. So I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If in fact you did, please do give me a very big thumbs up. If you guys are new here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit that notification bell so that way you will be notified every single time I upload. And for those of you who are my returning subscribers, thank you guys for supporting me. I truly appreciate your support. Until next time, see you guys in my next video. Bye.